Hello, everybody, and welcome to my channel. Hope you're having a great day today. I have the channeling ready for you guys, and we are doing pretty good with the whole process of getting this through you. For me, it's a good time, it's the best time for me to do this. So I have it right here, and the way I do these, I record my voice while I'm doing the channeling, and it automatically um, types it in to the phone, and the channeling goes through, and then we'll be able to then read it back to you. So it's not exactly accurate when it comes down to putting voice to words, but it's close enough, and it's great. So maybe I could play the audio too, but that's all right. So this is going to be a quick video. There's going to be a lot of explanation, and to be honest, I was this is my second video. The first video where I did this, it felt great, but then there was a lot of interruptions. I was at a baseball field, and the kids were playing a game, so there wasn't. It was a good setting, but then there's a lot of ambient noise, and a lot of things that I said were just little inconsistent incongruency and the understanding of it all. It's just I was distracted for um, just enough of it that it's not worth for you guys to hear me on that previous video. But this one's going to be a little better. It'll be shorter. Then I'll be able to go through the explanation part of what we're talking about here. All right. So this is I'm going to read it once. I'm going to read it a second time, explaining what it's saying to you, and then I'll just read it without any sort of explanation next time. That way we can all be on the same page. So this is the channeling. We are a six-dimensional group. We're nowhere and everywhere at the same time. We've spoken to this channel before, and here we come again to speak about what it means to reincarnate, to be back in the physical, into what pertains and the things that come along with it. The cycles, as they're called, are presented, and sometimes outside of cycles, there are times when reincarnations happen until everyone is ready to go again. Play the game. Excuse me. And here we are in a very important time on your planet. We speak of this eon, this era of your planet as it is moved forward. Just know that. The next eon of time from here will be determined on your next few incarnations. This is important, but pay no mind because you will all be in the same situation, learning different other lessons as you move forward in this process. The reincarnation process begins with your closest family members, are those usually where you will need to relieve karma in one way or another at this time. You'll be awakened to some of your relationships with family members and how you're supposed to balance the flow of energy between every one of you. We know you have questions. Your questions are quite simple to understand, yet the answers are difficult. And we will keep it as simple and as honest as this channel can be. Believe and know that our mind is many minds. We will illustrate this. We are one and many at the same time. Then they go on to say, this is a very interesting question. We can say we've experienced the earth experience as you do now. It's outside the scope of time. But in order for the process to be complete, there's no time to call for a time frame. Time does not exist. Time is a constraint. It's an element like water or oxygen or your protective layers around the planet. This is but just one channeling of many we hope to accomplish this way. Now, it says here, shall we continue? And it says, yes, we must continue. And I have a 5-minute limit on the audio that I can record. And these limits are unfortunately not good because I meant to keep going and then I couldn't keep going there. I had to cut out the audio and make another audio. And I thought I did, and the recording just didn't happen. I didn't press record or start or whatever I needed to do, I didn't do it, and it led me to a different kind of um, it led me to a different kind of channeling that I just didn't record, so I couldn't really do that part very well. I remember some of it, but I don't. Um, it's not about what the recording said; it's what they were what they were asking me to do. They were asking me to explain things about my personal life regarding the subject of the reincarnation that I've just read to you. So let's break that down a little bit. I don't plan on taking long. And not that there's a time constraint, but my last video, um, it's it was okay. It wasn't bad. I think this second time I can make it a lot better. We're a six-dimensional group. We're nowhere and everywhere at the same time. We've spoken to this channel before, and here we come again to speak about what it means to reincarnate, to be back into physical, into what pertains and the things that come along with it. So that's just an introduction. Then they're saying, so let me explain that to you. They asked me to explain a lot of that, what that means. So what they are, they're a group of souls that don't no longer need to reincarnate. So they're helping humans and humanity through channelings and through processes of making sure that you can walk along a path of liberation and clearing of karma so that you can release those weights that hold you back and you can move on to higher planes of ascension, higher planes of existence. Still in the physical, but you'll be in a six-dimensional state of mind and state of being. Where things will just be easier for you. You know, you'll connect with the right people. You'll make the right kind of acquaintances. You avoid those that just don't resonate at your frequency as well. And that's most of their goal is to enlighten us and to put us back in a place where we can go down a specific path, knowing the right things, and then not, you know, not letting yourself be drawn into those things of different frequency or lower frequency. Now, if I'm saying fourth dimensional, and if I call the fourth dimensional a lower frequency, it's correct. But it's not until you go through a fourth dimensional experience and you reincarnate there a few times for you to understand that you don't want to be part of the drama, or you don't want to be part of the political pull and push that we experience on this planet today, right? You understand it exists and it's there, but it's outside of the scope of what you want to focus on for yourself. You can easily just be someone that wants to help others, and maybe cutting your profit margin for your own business and making things available for others because it's the level at which you resonate in a way, wanting to give back. Usually it's how it goes, not um, going with the push or pull of different environments or different situations where you might be with family members, etc. All right. Huh. All right, I'm almost done. The cycles, as they're called, are presented, and sometimes outside of cycles, there are times where reincarnations happen until everyone is ready to go again. So if there's a group of 1,200 people that need to be put under certain circumstances where they all participate with each other and they are in that same group. Let's say that 100 or 200 of them aren't there anymore for them to complete that 1,200 group of people that are involved in a certain situation, then the game or the reincarnation cycle just kind of stalls there for a second, so you can all reincarnate again and continue to the process of that group to continue to learn from each other, embodying physical bodies and continuing that process for yourself, right? So that's what they mean when the game will start again, or when you'll continue later on if a circumstance puts you in a situation where you need to step away for a while before reincarnating and starting. Let me read that again. The cycles, as they're called, are presented, and sometimes outside of cycles, there are times where reincarnations happen until everyone is ready again to go, ready to do the game again, to play the game. And here we are in a very important time on your planet. If we speak of this eon, this era of your planet, as it is moved forward, just know that. So we're in a very specific era or time on the planet now where you can trampoline yourself and raise your frequency high enough so that you're at another um, level, right? Still physical, as I said earlier, but you understand, and there's a clearing, and there's more to understand from the situation that you're in right now, right? The next eon of time from here will be determined on your next few incarnations. This is important. But pay no mind because you'll all be in the same situation, learning different other lessons as you move forward in this process. You're moving forward, you're taking your soul and you're growing your soul to make it that much more, let's see, that much more enlightened as a soul, right? All right, so this is what they want me to explain. What they want me to explain is that this six dimensional, I'm calling it six dimensional, but they're really from an even higher dimension than that because they're in the spirit world. The spirit world is opposite of what the physical world is. When I was born and when you were born, did you know anything about your past life or did you start a new slate? Why did you start a new slate? Because there's new things that you need to go through in order to learn. So when you pass on, you are going back to your group of family, and then you're returning to a physical body in case you're returning in case you've needed some kind of lessons or you've missed out on something that you need to know. That's important, right? That's part of the process. Now, a lot more of the explanations of the channeling is regarding how some souls from these higher dimensions come down to the planet and they are parallel to a physical body or physical group of individuals, right? A physical group of souls incarnate in a very specific archetype, like Lyrans, right? Or Pleiadians, you know what I mean? And they just live out that life as a Pleiadian or a Lyran. But their soul is really an even higher advanced part of the angelic realm from where we are, and how that process happens is specifically because at a certain time when you're incarnating in these bodies, you're meant to teach or show the way, right? It's the opposite of service to self. You service to others in that case. And that's where we're here. So we can bring about this knowledge, this understanding. And for some people, is very simple. Just go out there, live your life, present yourself as you are to others, and don't pretend to be anything else. And some have a different path. Maybe you do have to be actively involved in politics. Maybe you do have to be actively involved in your community. Maybe you do have to have a scenario that chooses for you to make choices on based on your employees or your community or things that matter for most people, and that's your way to service. Just the way you think of a president in the past that did significant things for the country, on any country, right? And then it's something that you read about as a kid, and you can tell that this individual was placed there to emancipate the slaves, or build highways, expand west, and all these sort of things that happen in America. As an example, are individuals that are have a high level of responsibility and are put in a high level position in their life for a brief period of time, because before the presidency and after the presidency, It's very vague, but still, their defining moment becomes when they're called to do these sort of services. And usually, I'm sorry, guys, I got something right there. Either way, what I'm saying is that these souls are reincarnating and they're coming in and they're doing the right kind of work. That's kind of the explanation that they want to hear from me to you, right? All right, so that was that part. The reincarnation process begins with your closest family members. Those are usually who we need to relieve karma in one way or another. At this time, you'll be awakened to some of your relationship with family members, and you're supposed to balance the flow of energy between every one of you. And then they say, "We know you have questions. Your questions are quite simple to understand, yet the answers are difficult, and we will keep it as simple and as honest as this channel can. Believe and know that our minds are many minds, and we will illustrate this. You are one and many at the same time." So what they're saying is that just think of a circle and then think of just little pin dots within that circle. Each little pin dot of that is a soul fragment, and then each soul has their other counterpart soul, and they're just one individual, one water drop, one drop of water that's just divided in two. They just share that same energy from source. Okay. So when they say that, so when you see these pin dots in these circles, we are. So what I'm saying is these pin dots are part of the soul group, which is the part of us that makes us at our soul level, at the soul level, and that's just how much of each individual they are as self, right? And as part of the whole group. So in essence, you can say that you're talking to yourself, right? Is what they want me to explain within the channeling, but you're only just talking to a part of that whole group which makes the whole. We make the whole, and we are our own individuals within that whole, right? Like a school of fish. A school of fish of 200 fish can make the shape of one single fish. If they all put themselves in the right place, they can make the shape of a single fish if they were all lined up in the right places, so they can do that for themselves, right? But then each fish itself is its own individual, and that's what they mean by that. What they mean is so let me read that part quite again. Hmm, where is it now? I missed my spot. Oh, here we go. No, that's not it. Uh, well, this is what I'm explaining from the very first sentence that I'm going to read to you one more time. I'm going to finish with the karma and a quick karma story, right? From personally, and then I think that's kind of it from there now. We're nowhere and everywhere at the same time. We've spoken to this channel before, and here we come again to speak about what it means to reincarnate, to be back in physical and to what pertains and the things that come along with it. That's a strong sentence. Oh, here it is. Here it is. So we know you have questions. Your questions are quite simple to understand, yet the answers are difficult. And we will keep it simple and honest as this channel can be. Believe and know that our mind is many minds. We will illustrate this, and we're one and many at the same time. That's like I said, as the school of fish, right? That's the example that I wanted to mention to you. You can say that we've experienced the earth experience as you do, and it's outside the scope of time. But in order for the process to be complete, there is no time to call for a time frame. Time does not exist. Time is a constraint. time is an element like water or oxygen or your protective layers around the planet. What they're saying is just don't worry about how long it's going to take for the individual lower groups of souls that are not incarnated, unlike us, for example, that you worry about where's the next step going to take you. But you all have to be in the same page so you can move as a collective group. The Andromedans move as a collective group. The Pleiadians move as a collective group. The Arcturians move as their own collective group of individual souls incarnated in specific kind of physical, what we would call, ETs that are on their own path. And then humanity itself, it's like on their own path as the other races out there outside of this planet. And we don't really have it all together because for 189 certified countries in this planet, we're still not getting along. So it's not about worrying about when are we going to get there. It's more about solving the little things in your communities, in your state, in your country, and getting all the ducks in a row so we can move as a collective group, soul of people here on this planet to the next level where we all need to be. And there's going to be obstacles in the way that are going to get in the way, but we can all solve that and continue to grow as individuals and as our community and as a country, whichever country it is that you're on right now, wherever it is you live on this planet. Um, well, I think that's about it. So my karma story is that I am aware of a family member closest to me that we did each other harm in previous life. In a previous life, I can tell you this much: I was a conquistador, and I pillaged and burned and did all these bad things on the on South American lands as back in the 1550s. So I hurt people, right? And one of the family members was one of those people that I hurt back then, and just knowing and being aware that this information is just saying, here's the test, here's your karma test, and here are your karma answers. Just pass the test, right? Do the right thing, and it won't bother you. Think of all the people out there. Think about it. Think of all the people out there that are living in situations where they know that, this certain person just doesn't rub me right for whatever reason. And instead of just creating more discord, you might want to figure out why it is that this is happening and work at figuring out the situation that's going to resolve it so that you don't have to come back again together with this individual and work out a different kind of karma situation so you can figure it out. We're past that, the discord and the fighting and the things that get in the way of the things that are simple in life for you to understand so that you can live in peace and calm your mind about what's going on and what's going to happen next. So that's a very quick explanation. I hope I've got it all. And, we're just physical angels now in these human bodies, trying to figure out for ourselves what is it that's coming up next and what are the things that it's going to allow us to move forward in life, right? So I leave you guys with that. The video was just as good as the last one. I really covered all the bases, and I've read through this. I'll read through it one more time before I go. So I just want you guys to get the whole thing again for whatever reason, and we'll get more channelings hopefully when the time is right. When I'm in a sitting around minding my own business, I might just have something come in and I'll quickly share that with you, and hopefully not make it as long as it is today. I feel this is exceedingly too long for what it's worth, but here's the channeling one more time. We are a six-dimensional group. We're nowhere and everywhere at the same time. We've spoken to this channel before, and here we come again to speak about what it means to reincarnate, to be back in the physical, and to what pertains and the things that come along with it. The cycles, as they're called, are presented, and sometimes outside of cycles. There are times where reincarnations happen until everyone is ready again. Play the game, and it, there are times. There are times when reincarnations happen until everyone is ready to go again and play the game. And here we are in a very important time on your planet. We speak of this eon or this era of your planet as it is. Move forward. Just know that. The next eon of time from here will be determined on your next few reincarnations. This is important, but pay no mind because you will all be in the same situation, learning different other lessons as you move forward in this process. The reincarnation process begins with your closest family members, are those usually where you need to relieve karma in one way or another. At this time, you'll be awakened to some of your own relationships and family members and how you're supposed to balance the flow of energy between everyone that you know, right? Every one of you. We know you have questions. The questions are quite simple to understand, yet the answers are difficult. And we'll keep it simple as honest as this channel can be, and believe and know that our mind is one mind, and we will illustrate this. We are one and many at the same time. That is a. Then they know that you've asked the question. They said, "This is a very interesting question. You can say that we have experienced the Earth experience as you do now, and it's outside the scope of time. But in order for the process to be complete, there is no time to call for a time frame, as time does not exist and time is a constraint. Time is an element like water or oxygen or your protective layers around the planet. This is but just one channeling of many we hope to accomplish this way. Thank you, everybody. Hope you guys have a great day, and we'll catch you on the next video.